What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Okay, making his debut on the channel tonight, we have Jeff Beck. Yes, indeed. How about that? Jeff Beck making his debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to do all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity boobity bop, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Tim Connor, and it was also the winner of the Patreon request prioritization poll, winning with 47% of the vote, moving it from number 414 in the queue straight up to number 1. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. They all want to see me react to this song by Jeff Beck called Brush with the Blues. Now, have I heard the song before? I'll be honest with you folks, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I have heard a number of Jeff Beck songs. Now here's the thing. I've heard the songs, but I don't know the titles of the songs. So, that I've heard. So, is there a possibility that I've heard the song before? There is a possibility. But out of all the songs that Jeff Beck has written and performed on, the likelihood of this being one of them is slim. I don't think so. I'm not sure. So we're going to kind of play this by ear. But as always, I'm going to be honest with you guys. And listen, if I start playing the song and I suddenly go, okay, yeah, I do recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by Peter Music HD, okay? And the video has 12,934 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Jeff Beck, Brush with the Blues, live at Ronnie Scott's Club London, HD 720p. Always good to know that. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
One-handed. Nice. Intro was really good. The intro was good. Not gonna lie, I was wondering how much longer it was gonna go on for. Like, I don't think the intro went for too long, but I think it walked up to that line. You know what I mean? Like it walked up to that line of, okay, we're getting a little long in the tooth here. You know, let's move on. You know, let's get to the groove. You know, let's get the song going. It never stepped on the line. It never got too close to the line, but it did approach it. I think if he had gone for like about another 30 seconds, I think it might have started to be just a little too long at that point. But actually, I think where he came in and started the song, I think that was great, right where he did it. The drumming sounds really good. The drumming's laying back. Sounds good. Keyboard has got a great patch going. Sounds really good. Sparse playing, not full the whole time. Letting Jeff do his thing, which is really good. The bass player. I feel like she's a little on top of the beat a little bit. I feel like she kind of needs to pull back a little bit. Sit back in the pocket a little bit more. She is playing a little on top. And depending on the kind of blues that you're playing, like if you're playing like an upbeat blues, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But because the tempo of the song is so back, it's so pulled back, I do feel like her being on top of the beat a little bit is a little... it's not distracting. That's not the word I'm looking for. What's the word? It's not gelling. You know what I mean? And for those of you that have played blues, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's not gelling. She's not sitting back in the pocket and grooving with the drummer. It just feels off a little bit. What she's playing notationally sounds just fine. It's her note placement. Just like, we're literally talking about a 10th of a second later. Just a little bit later. Just pull back a little bit. It'd be nice. It'd be nice. I really wish she would sit back in the pocket and groove more with the drummer. I will say she looks young. I don't know how old she is. God, she could be in high school for all I know. If that is the case, hey, if you're in high school playing bass for Jeff Beck, good on you. Good on you. What a great thing to be able to have on your resume. Dear Lord, you could be one of those people that say, yeah, I played with Jeff Beck. You're going to get work. I guarantee you, you're going to get work. Anyway, let's keep going here. Pull it back. Pull it back. She fixed it. She fixed it. She's pulling back a little bit. Good on you. Way to go, girl. Good job. Okay, now she's pulling back a little bit more. She's more in the pocket now. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good signal. Right there. That moment right there. I'm going to back it up. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Watch what happens, okay? So, Jeff's going to give the signal. He's going to put his hand up. That's the signal. Moving into the next part. Watch what everybody does. Okay, here comes the signal. Watch the signal. Right there. Everybody's reading each other right now. See, right there. Right there. Drummer is watching Jeff. Jeff's watching the drummer. Bass player is watching Jeff. Everybody's watching each other right now going, okay, where are we going to go with this? And then that magic moment happens where there's that brief second to a second and a half of uncertainty, and you can hear it in the music where everyone's like, okay, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Okay, there it is. You know, I love it when that happens. I love it when that happens. I used to love playing blues for that reason when we would be doing jam sessions and we didn't know. We didn't know what we were doing. Okay, we're going to do a blues. We're going to do a blues in F. Great. Let's go. Kick it off. That's all you get. We're going to do blues in F. You might get a guy up there that goes, watch me for the changes. Okay, what changes are those? You know, so you'll have those moments of uncertainty. Now, the good news is if you're playing with good people, those moments won't last for too long. They'll last, like I said, for about a second to a second and a half. And it'll be that brief second to a second and a half of looking around going, okay, what now? Okay, boom. And then we all come right back in again. It sounds bad. It does sound like a bad thing. But believe me, folks, when I tell you this, it's not a bad thing. It gives the musicians on stage an opportunity to show, more than anything else, that they're able to read, they're able to watch, they're able to anticipate, but without anticipating. You hear the old saying, anticipate but don't anticipate, right? This is it. This is a perfect example of it. Like you trust your gut. You feel like you know where it's going to go, but you don't want to jump on it until you know for certain. You know what I mean? Until the band leader, in this case, Jeff, here's where we are. And then you have to be able to instantaneously react. And that's fun. That's the sign of a good musician, man. When you can get that, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you get a band that can all do that, that is something special. That is definitely something special. Watch it again. You'll see that it's brief. It's about a second to a second and a half of there's that feeling of uncertainty of, okay, what are we gonna do? Okay. It's literally that quick. And everybody's watching everybody. Like, where are we gonna go? Okay, here we are. You know? Right here. Oh, I love it. Everybody watching everybody for the cues. You know, you gotta, in a situation like that, you gotta watch, because you don't know. Good times. Good times. Flashbacks. Definitely flashbacks. Not from the song. I did not recognize the song, by the way. It did not sound familiar to me. But flashbacks of times I've been in situations like that, playing blues, you know, and having absolutely no idea of where the song is gonna go. You just gotta read each other, you gotta follow each other, and you gotta be able to react like instantaneously. Good times indeed. And you know it's working because everybody's smiling, everybody's having a good time. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we will talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Jeff Beck with Brush with the Blues. This was a request from Tim Connor, and it was also the winner of the Patreon request prioritization poll, winning with 47% of the vote, moving it from number 414 straight up to number 1. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. All right, let's get right to it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that an 8.7. Yep, 8.7. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first and foremost, did I recognize the song? No, I did not. It did not sound familiar to me. So that either means that I haven't heard it before, that's number one, or I just didn't recognize it. Listen, there are so many blues songs that sound similar. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh yeah, I've heard that song, when I am not 100% certain I have or not. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say this with like 99% confidence that I have not heard the song before. So this was a fresh experience, which is always a good thing. I had a great time with it. I really enjoyed this, and I know a lot of people know me as a rock and metal guy, and I'm honest, truth to be told, I love rock and I love metal. I do. It's my favorite style of music to listen to. But a lot of people don't know this about me. Well, number one, I am a bass player. Number two, I'm jazz trained. And when you play jazz, or when you learn how to play your instrument by playing jazz, when you're jazz trained, you can play pretty much anything. I mean, you really can. You can play jazz, you can play funk, you can play blues, you can play rock, you can play country, you name it. You can put R&B, yeah, you name it. You can play pretty much anything. And I did come up, also along with playing jazz, I came up playing blues as well. And blues is fairly easy to play from a notational standpoint. If you follow the pattern, it's really easy. And to be honest with you, when it comes to the bass playing and the keyboard playing, all you gotta do is follow the changes, and that's really easy to do. So it leaves you a lot of freedom to fill in the blanks, so to say, and improvise a little bit, which is always a fun thing to do. Jazz is probably one of the easiest things to improvise over. Like I said, simple changes. All you gotta do is, as long as you know your theory, if you know your chordal structures and you know your key signatures, and you know your scales, then it's really easy to improvise over blues. And I have a deep appreciation for jazz and for blues, because I grew up playing it. So of course I'm always going to have a deep appreciation for both. And I love good blues, man. I do. And Jeff Beck is one of those guys that is known and revered in the blues community. He is right up there with guys like B.B. King, Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Dr. John. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Bo Diddley. I mean, you keep going on and on. You can't go wrong. And yeah, Jeff Beck is definitely in that conversation without question. His playing style, so cool, man. No pick, all fingers. Gotta respect that. You absolutely do, because a lot of guys can't do that. I know Jeff can play with a pick. I've seen him play with a pick, but you don't see the other way around. Guys that use picks all the time be able to do what Jeff can do with his fingers. And there's a lot of things that Jeff can do with his fingers that guys with a pick just cannot do, like the tapping and the finger slides and the opposition slides and stuff like that he does. And you know, getting those pinch harmonics with his fingers in that muted tone without it sounding screechy, you know what I mean? Really cool, man. Good stuff. The other thing I really love about Jeff Beck is the way, and this is gonna sound stupid, but hear me out. The way he utilizes and the way he handles this tremolo bar. I know a lot of people are like, well, who cares? Just hear me out. Most people, when they use the tremolo bar, they grab it. They use their whole hand, and they use their fingers, and they use their hand, they grip onto that tremolo bar, and they just whammy the hell out of it. And it's, look, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the way he does it, where he just puts his finger on it, it's so subtle. And by doing it like that, he allows himself a lot more control over his subtleties. Rather than depressing with the whole arm, he literally uses just his index finger to depress ever so slightly. Guys, that's all you need to get your pitch to bend, is just, you need that much. That's all you need. At the same time, he can, when needed, grab onto it and whammy away, just like everybody else does. But what you don't see everybody else does is what he does with his finger, and just depress ever so slightly while using his thumb to play. That's pretty cool, man. Gotta give him credit for that. His backing band. I'm gonna start with the organ player, the piano player. Great job. Knowing what to play, and more importantly, what not to play. You heard him laying out quite a bit. Going back to the whole reading thing, you gotta be able to read when you're playing blues. You've got to be able to read the group, man. You have to be able to, especially as and this is gonna sound weird, but as the keyboard player in particular, you don't want to leave the song sounding hollow, but at the same time, you don't want to be playing so much that you take away from the lead guy. You know what I mean? You have to walk a fine line, and sometimes that line is this wide, and there are other times that line is this wide, and then there are times the line is that wide, and you have to be able to walk that line, do it well. And this guy did it very well. He played very tastefully, knowing when to come in, knowing when to lay out, and really doing a great job overall with his playing. That drummer, solid. Super solid. I had no issue with the drummer whatsoever. I loved when he went into that straight time, coming out of that. I think it was about 3/4 of the way through. Coming out of the part where they were kind of guessing. You know, they all had that the moment you know the moment I'm talking about, right? Where they all had that moment of, where do we go? Where do we go? We're going to go here. Boom. You know? Coming out of that, he went into that straight time feel. That was great, man. I did not see that coming. I don't think Jeff saw it coming either because he laughed. He was having a good time with it. No, great job on his part. That bass player, she looks young. I don't know how old she is in this video. I'll be honest with you, she looks like she could be like a junior or a senior in high school in this video. If that's the case, kudos on her. Being able to put on her resume that she played bass for Jeff Beck. I'm sorry, you put that on your resume, that you have that as a credential, you're gonna get work. I promise you, you're gonna get work. At the beginning, she felt on top of the beat. Now, there was that moment at about 3.5 minutes of the song where all of a sudden, when she came back in, she was in the pocket. Like, not even a gradual thing. It was immediately there. Now, that leads me to believe one of two things. One, that was intentional. She meant to do that. Play for the first 3 minutes on top of the beat against the drummer who is laying back in the pocket, and she's intentionally playing on top. Is that possible? Yes, it's possible. But I doubt it. Because it didn't feel right. It didn't feel natural. It felt very oppositional. The other thing, and the more likely thing I think it happened, is this. She does look young. I don't know how much experience she has playing. I don't know how long she had been playing for. She must have been playing for a while. Jeff Beck's just not going to pick, you know, some high school kid out of some high school who's never played live before, anything like that, and throw her into the mix and say, here you go. No, he's not going to do that. So, but because she is young, maybe she doesn't have a lot of experience. Maybe she was nervous. It's very possible. Look, I'm more inclined to believe that. She was a little nervous at first. And then, like I said, about the 3.5 minute mark, she loosened up and she sat back in the pocket with the drummer and she grooved and it felt good. There was a noticeable difference when she laid back, and it sounded and it felt so much better. Again, just like the piano player, some great runs on her part, nothing too fancy, never drawing attention away from anybody, but filling out the sound quite well and adding her voice in there as necessary. Her mix, I didn't say this during the course of the reaction, there were a couple of times where her strings were rattling a little bit. It was a little bright. I do feel like she could have turned her treble down just a little bit. That would have really helped with that. But overall, I think she did a fine job. A fine job. No, I have absolutely no complaints about this. It was fun to watch. Like I said, especially that one moment where, you know, Jeff gave the signal, everybody came down, we're gonna shift, where are we gonna go now? And everybody's looking at each other like, where do we go? We're gonna go here. Okay. Brought back some great memories, it really did. Oh, this was fun. This was fun, and it was a great job to boot. Some very impressive playing from Jeff. Really well done, and that's why I'm giving this the great score of 8.7. Now, we may have some new people to the channel. Some people who have never been here before, and they're big fans of Jeff Beck. And they may be wondering, what is an 8.7? Well, first of all, welcome to the channel. Secondly, let me assure you that an 8.7 is a great score. Anything in the 8s is a great score. Just remember, 8 is great. Now, if you don't believe me, that's okay. You can take a look down below in the video description, scroll down a little bit, you'll find my scoring system chart, and you will clearly see that 8.0 to 8.9 is the grading scale for what? What does it say? It says great. Just remember, 8 is great. This is getting 8.7. It's up at the top of the great scale. So, outstanding job. I had a great time watching this. It was fun. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed listening to it. Brought back some great memories. So yeah, this was a good watch. It was a good listen. It was a great job overall. 8.7. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're gonna stay. So 8.7 final score. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully, I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.